Evet. Her şey düzgün mü? Ses, görüntü, yayın. Evet. Aldığımız yerden devam edelim bakalım. Review'unu da kapatalım. Ya sesle uğraşıyordum. Son yayın çok kötü gelmiş. Bizim bir mikrofon almamız şart oldu. En son kaleyi sızıp Keypan'ı kaleden kurtarmıştık. Aynen tam burada kalmıştık. Şimdi görevlere bir bakalım. Konseyine sız diyor. Ama önce Lady Rosa'ya Malishow'da neler olduğunu anlat. Rosa'nın kitabını bir verelim. Hadi bakalım.
Quick! Come on.
O ne ya? Sadece biraz daha. Onu yeni görüyorum.
Go!
Aa bu benim atım değil.
Just a bit further.
Dur o zaman dur. Hadi biz seni azat edelim. Heh, gel buraya. Sen çabuk yoruluyorsun.
Quick! Gah! Whoa! Don't worry. We'll stay by the shore.
Oyun gerçekten iyi gözüküyor ya.
Go!
Ormanın içine dalmak yerine. Aleykümselam Levent. Uyumadın mı?
Quick! Quick!
İyi bakın. Ya mikrofonla uğraşıyordum ya. Daha erken açacaktım. Yarım saattir mikrofonla uğraşıyorum. Bu ses sorununu temelden bir çözemedik gitti. Benim üstüm başım kan içindedir kesin. Şeyi kurtardım. Cape'ını kurtardım. Şimdi geri geliyorum işte kurtardık ettik diye. Onlar gitti bu arada. Onlar gitti de beni bıraktılar. Cape'ını kurtarırken bir de kitap görevi vardı, onu yaptım. Evet.
Oh, and about that secret passage to Malashov. How did you find that secret passageway back then?
I'm glad you ask, because it's a really interesting story. It all started when I was 12. One morning, I found a bat nailed to the Malashov gate. Peculiar, eh? Embroidery wasn't exactly my passion, and Papa forbade me from riding out into the woods, so at least I explored the fortress from top to bottom.
I know all about that. Not that I ever embroidered, but Pa never let me stray too far from home.
Parents have no understanding for the adventurous soul, do they? But back to the bats. I found out from the guards
Oğlum
that they
görevler
caught
çok
the
uzun
poor
ya. 2
creatures
görev
somewhere
yapıyorum
in
zaten 2
cellars.
saat oluyor.
So I went to have a look there and found a whole swarm of them. I followed them for a while, and I noticed that in one corner they simply disappeared into a wall. Strange, isn't it? I was full of curiosity, and I talked Papa into having the wall demolished. I remember there was even a priest there at the time, and he wasn't at all happy about it. He was afraid we'd dig into hell. But as you probably guessed, there was nothing behind the wall but a passageway leading off into darkness.
My word, you're right. That is a really good story. And I didn't expect that ending at
Geçen bölüm
all.
güzeldi ama ya.
You're really
Tam bir
sharp
gizlilik bölümüydü.
and hard-headed when you latch onto something. Well, that's something I admire.
Hard-headed.
Aa, değil
Aren't
mi?
you a
Game
bit
Pass'e geldi.
impertinent? I'd rather say determined.
Çok erken geldi ya.
Why did your people mark the passage from outside?
Papa came up with that. He said one never knows what might happen, so I thought up the idea with the crosses. Why do you ask anyway? Would you rather search all over the woods for it?
No. It's really smart. And very convenient for me. Thanks again.
Ya ben DLC'lerini falan da aldım ya, o yüzden çok şey değil de.
Have you ever used the passage?
No, it's never been needed. thank God.
Bir de büyük ihtimal
But everything's
benim
ready
bu
there.
oynama süresiyle Game
There's a strong
Pass
door and a ladder that we can pull
daha
up behind
pahalıya
us.
patlardı.
That ought to give us enough time to get to the end and dig our way out.
Aynen. Geçen bölümde işte ses cortlamış. Takılıp duruyor.
By the way, like you were saying about that
Bir
book,
mikrofon
My
bakmam lazım
favourite
ya.
book. Pray tell, did you find it?
as I wandered through the fortress, I stumbled upon von Bergov's chambers, and there it lay. Red leather, gold inlay, just as you said.
You really found it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. By the way, did you have any time to leaf through it and see what it's about?
Aslında geçen yayına da gelen var da kimse demedi. Ses kötü falan filan diye. Tanıdık biri gelseydi. Okudum da
I've read
anlamadım
a bit
çok.
of it.
What did you think?
While reading it, I thought the writing style seemed familiar.
Really?
Well, yeah. As if I knew the writer himself. Or herself.
Women writing books. Come now.
Why not? I bet they would write better than many men.
Such audacity.
More like experience. I once helped with copying. Most of it was boring drivel.
I can imagine. A person does all that work to learn to read and write, but then they sit you down at a table to copy the works of others for the rest of your life.
Waste of time, right?
Not just time, above all, talent.
Hold on. Who wrote this then?
I did. Look, you've never thought about writing something.
Me? And what would I write?
How should
Hakikaten
I
ha.
know? Poetry, a novel, a treatise, or a whole book?
I've been through quite a
Ben de
bit.
mecburen uzatıyorum
I'm not
konuşmayı.
sure of writing it down.
Wouldn't you want to at least give it a try?
I suppose I'm not quite sure where you're going with this.
There are still a few blank pages left, so we could finish writing it together. You and me. What do you think?
That sounds great.
We'll have plenty of light and privacy in my chambers. Will you escort me?
Hayda. Sonra mı diyelim? Tehlikeli bir yere
Pleasure.
gitmesin.
How should I start?
You haven't thought of anything yet?
Now, I have many ideas, but we must contribute in equal parts.
Both? Well, fine. And what should I do?
Just tell me what you'd like to read about. A tale of a man or a woman? I'll take careful notes of everything.
There are heaps of stories about men. So I propose one about a woman.
All right, a woman then. But I'd need to know more about her.
İtiraf mı yazıyoruz?
Such as...
Tell me one trait that is important for you. What would impress you in a girl?
Beni etkileyen ne olur? Ben orada akıllı olma önce soruyor. Başka bir şey deneyelim. Yap akıllı olma. Güzel oldu diyelim.
Never hurts if a girl is pretty.
I was hoping for something a bit deeper than
Yok ya
beauty.
dümdüz gibi ya. Ya işte. Oo bana ilham veriyorsun diyelim.
Well, what else could come to mind with you standing here before me?
Oh,
Bir mektup yazma
come
görevi yaptım da
now.
yan
Tell
görev
me
miydi?
instead about the fate of our beauty. But please, leave her dressed.
There are few enough happy endings in life, so I'd be for a happy end.
I agree. And while Our Lady in the story may be beautiful, her pretty face alone won't bring about that happy ending. I'll put a more interesting feather in her cap. Well, just about finished.
Well, let's have a look.
Not yet. Something's missing.
What?
A picture. I don't trust myself with proper illumination, but I think I can handle a sketch, especially if you'll be my model.
What? And what on earth do I have to do?
Imagine a beautiful lady is standing before you and you are courting her. What would you do?
I'd rather keep what I do to myself.
Şeyler nasıl?
But how
Tam
about something like this?
thumbnail'ler, kapak görselleri. Yalnız şeyi fark ettim. Yapay zeka gitgide bana benzetmemeye çalışıyor hani. En son Mahmut Tuncer'e kadar gidecek herhalde.
Well, now we're done.
Oh, finally. I'm sore all over.
Your suffering is over. Come take a look at what we've done. Your reward.
Ben mi çiziyorum?
Fear not, the ink has already dried.
Onu kaçırdım lan, ne yapıyorduk? Düğün konuşması, maalesef gelin tanımadığım için kocasını kutlayamam. Ha, buraları okudum. Üf, ne yazmış. Şimdi bunu okumuyoruz ya. Kitapla ilgili soru sorsa sıçtık. Vardı böyle bir görev bu arada. Bir hana gidiyorsun. İçkilerle ilgili konuşuyorsun falan. Onun kitabını okuman gerekiyordu. Ben okumadım, böyle geçtim. Hangi soru sordu? İlk soruda patladım böyle direkt.
So what about that story of ours? Tell me your impressions.
Too bad
Oyuna
there aren't
gidelim.
more books like this. If there were, I might end up turning into a scholar.
Really? I'll take that as the highest possible compliment. And what about the sketch? For such a slapdash job, it's not bad, right?
Oh, it's pretty, really. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
I know I'm no master illuminator, but otherwise, I think we can be quite satisfied. And thank you for the help. I really enjoyed it.
Well,
Bence Henry'nin yapması
Tabii.
gereken abi, bir tane lord kızı bulacak. Kaleye kapağı atacak ya.
and for that matter, you're an interesting girl.
Burası iyi
I'd like
mesela,
to
bak
get to
hem
know you a little
şehirde.
better.
No beating around the bush. How about that? Please do stop by sometime. I wager it will be enlightening for both of us.
Yayından sonra bir
Perhaps I can
uğrarız.
show you my collection of hunting trophies.
Hayda. Şimdi dur, işimiz gücümüz var. Şehir konseyine sız. Darphane amiri Vavak'tan şehir konseyine nasıl gidileceğini öğren.
God be with you.
Oğlum darphanecilerde bile yolsuzluk vardı
We'll
ya.
stay friends. Greetings.
I'm sorry. Apparently, the city council is organizing another collection for repairs to the fortifications.
Ya uzun yapacak bir şey yok. Darphane görevi de uzundu ya. Zaten bir 10-15 görev kaldı galiba.
You won't believe this. A whole village burnt to the ground.
Oğlum, lan bu Cape'nin şey değil mi? Bıyıklı hali. Adama baksana.
in to see the mint master. May I enter?
Any fool could say that. What do you want from him?
I have an appointment with him.
All right. Go ahead then. But don't waste too much of his time.
Aha geldik.
Glad to see you again.
You have the gall to show me your face again? I'll call the guards.
Hold your horses. I'll come in peace. Actually, I have a little offer for you.
You've come to blackmail me again?
Call it what you like. I need to get into the city council assembly. And I reckon you can help me.
The assembly? The one King Sigismund is supposed to attend in person?
Onu da
Surely you wouldn't
Sigismund'u
deny
göreceğiz
your chance
herhalde
to
ya.
meet the king.
Don't try that on me. This is connected with Ruthard, isn't it? And tell the truth.
Sigismund'un konseyden ne istediğini öğrenmek istiyorum.
I want to know what Sigismund tells the council. I hear it'll be important.
You want to spy? Do you know what you're risking? And what I'd be risking? Forget it.
Have you forgotten I have you over a barrel? If you want to keep your position and your head on your shoulders, you better shape up.
All right, all right. Maybe we can make a deal. If I get you into the council, you'll behave appropriately and you won't betray yourself, or especially me. And that will be the end of our business together.
All right. That seems like a fair deal.
You can get into the council assembly relatively easily. My cook's son will be serving there. He's roughly around your age. Maybe he can be persuaded to let you stand in for him. Although, not everyone would want to give up an opportunity to serve the king
Ya
of
garson
Hungary.
kılığında mı gireceğiz?
Who's this boy?
Franta's his name. Franta Cooldown. He's an idler and a boozer, but he's proved his worth as a waiter. Which reminds me, you'll need his letter of permission to serve in the council. Otherwise, you won't be let inside.
What will I need to work as a waiter there?
Fast feet and good manners. And the livery of a royal waiter.
Excuse me?
Do you think you can serve the king in a torn shirt and muddy hose?
Well, no. But I never heard about any livery before.
Our usual waiter had a brand new livery made specially for meeting the king. Don't even show up there without it.
Where can I find the cook's boy?
He's supposed to pick up his new clothes at the market today from Master Tailor Schneider. You'll almost certainly run into him there. That is, if he's up and about after his boozing bout. I swear that fellow practically lives at that Tin Hen.
At the what?
That German alehouse, the Iron Eagle. That is Zum Eisernen Adler.
What would work on him? How can I persuade him to give me his job?
Would you like me to give you a letter for him? I told you how to get to the assembly. Now do your part.
I'll be going then. See you at the council.
Just make sure we both come out of it alive.
Niye böyle dedi ya? Kralın garson belgesini al, kıyafetlerini al.
What a day.
Praise God.
That hit home.
Should have fucking stayed out of it. Go fuck yourself.
Ne oluyormuş? Kralın garsonun kıyafetlerini al.
God bless.
Greetings to you as well.
Nerede ya? Terzide değil mi? Niye böyle? Ha, şurada terzi. Niye böyle bir alanı çizdi ki?
What are you here for today?
What do you have for sale?
Oo, bir sürü parası varmış bunun ya. Bunları satalım. Oho. Wardrop gibi dolaşıyorum ya. Ne kadar oldu? 800. Çok da para etmiyorlar ya. O kadar şey lootluyorsun ama.
Pleasure doing business. God be with you. Muslin, Barchit, the strongest Barchit from Kashov.
Görevin ne yaptık ya? Bu terzi değil mi?
The finest wares, quality goods.
Tacir.
Crackling flatbread.
Don't be shy. Come closer and take a look. Quality goods here. Take your pick. Pots for sale. Big strong.
We're now open. Good morning. Come and have a look. Fresh goods here.
Bundan mı alacağız acaba ya?
I'll have a look at your ware.
Satın aldı. Yok ya bunda bir şey.
Maybe next time then.
How are things at home? Calm down a bit?
Excuse me?
The celebration is over and done with.
Saat mi kaç?
I'm in fine setting.
Sabah 9 daha. Adamı mı bekleyeceğiz? Konsey toplanana kadar yeterli zamanım var. Kendimi kraliyet garsonu olarak gösterebilmem için sertifikasına ihtiyacım var. Yoksa konseye giremeyeceğim. Kraliyet ziyafetinde garson olarak görev almak kolay bir iş değil. Branta Colddown'un bu etkinlik için tercih Schneider'e özel olarak diktirdiği şık kıyafete ihtiyacım olacak. Terziyi gündüz vakti pazarda bulabileceğimden eminim. Ne yapıyor lan? Terzi mi alacağım oğlum yolda? Gündüz vakti diyor. Gündüz zaten. Ha, kasabalı.
Quality goods.
The finest work.
Come and
I nearly
you've
left
got
my
enough to
fingers
go
on the
round. Anything you need. Don't be shy. Come find wares. Come and take your pick. Goods here. God bless. Yeah, yeah.
Dur bakayım ona da bir şeyler satalım ya.
What do you...
Of, tüccarın parasına bak. Oğlum geçen bölüm kaledeydim zaten. Kaleye sızdım dedim ya. Ne var ne yok lootladım kalede. Bak. Oo, bu ne ya, 700 lira. 700 groş hem. Dur bakayım, belki bu yok ya. Of, ne oğlum? Gıcır gıcır duruyor. Dur, onları giyeriz belki. Kastan burs. Öyle bir şey yok ki almada. Zınk diye alıyorsun. Öldürdüğüm adamları lootluyorum abi. Benim lootlama hevesimi kimse elimden alamaz. Şeyde bile zamanda RDR oynuyorduk. Adamları öldürüyorsun ya. Ulan araya sinematik geliyor. Benim kafa şeye gitti. Ulan dedik, adamları lootlamadık. Bak şimdi buradan lootlamadan ayrılırsam çok kötü olur diyorum. Benim kafa direkt oraya gidiyor. Adamları kesiyorum sinematikte böyle. RDR'de de önemliydi ya. Onda da silah milah önemliydi.
I hope you'll be satisfied, my friend.
I'll tell you, you won't get work like that.
Oh, legal para.
No more than I'd expect after the amount they cost, but they're
Terzi.
Greetings. I'd like to.
Surely you can wait a while.
Ha, bu
I have a
galiba.
customer here. Here you are. The finest fabric. Intricate work. You won't find the likes anywhere else in this town.
no more than I'd expect after the amount they cost. Thanks. I'll gladly recommend you if anyone asks. And you impatient fella, what was it you wanted?
You must be Franta Cooldown.
I am. And who might you be?
I'm Henry. I heard you're supposed to serve at the City Council Assembly.
I am. What's it to you?
İşi ben
Suppose
yapacağım
I
değil
took the
mi?
job on for you. You can put your feet up, fill your belly, and I'll do all the work for you.
Look here. It's not like I'm all that keen on it, but
Ya
it's well
para sorun
paid.
değil.
Apart from that, it's a bit of a pain in the arse. Them councillors stuffing their faces and guzzling wine while I run around like a bugger with pitchers so they don't run dry. Why would you want to stick your nose in there?
Let me put it another way. How much do you want for your place?
Finally, some sensible talk. But it won't come cheap. When I count it all up, new clothes,
Daha demin
wages,
4000 groşen aldım.
backhander to get in there at all.
Ne kadar
Not to
diyebilirsin
mention
ki?
the coin I'd make in other places if I could say I served the king of Hungary.
Tamamdır. Şu mikrofon işini halledersem işte iyi olacak.
Linen canvas. The softest linen canvas. Come and buy the finest canvas.
Al
All
beni
right.
ya.
Here you are, you daylight robber.
To begin with, you'll need confirmation that you've worked as a waiter at the council and you're capable of serving even His Majesty. Look here. Do you have any idea what's expected of you? Can you tell different wines apart?
Evet,
and that?
biraz uğraştık.
Dyed broadcloth. Beautiful colors. Striped fabric.
Of course. Who do you take me for?
All right. No need to get upset. Show the confirmation to the head butler. Tell him I sent you and think up some good excuse, clear?
That makes sense.
And you'll need a waiter's livery. I had a brand new one made. Here it is. I look like a prick in it. Hopefully it'll sit better on you. The main thing is, don't lose it before the assembly or get it covered in shit.
Thanks. I won't disgrace you, I promise.
You better not.
Come and buy the finest canvas.
Leather pouches!
Best wares on the market. Come and take a look.
Burası mı?
Jesus Christ be praised. What brings you here?
Amen. My neighbor wrecked my fence again last night.
And how did it happen?
He got drunk and fell on it coming back from the tavern.
How do you know?
How? He was still lying there this morning.
My God. All right then, I'll go and talk to him.
Are you satisfied with our repair of the clock, Master Bailiff?
Well, if I'm honest, I did not believe it would work, as you probably noticed.
You were about to call the guards on us.
Are you surprised? The councillors were laughing in my face, and that scoundrel Wolf looked like he was completely confused. Aber gut, ich hätte mehr Vertrauen in deine Fähigkeiten haben sollen. Entschuldigung.
İyi mi ya şu kıyafetleri? Öyle kabul ederler mi acaba? Yukarıda değil mi ya? Ha burada. Ulan. Nerede bunun yeri ya tam olarak? Görev yerine git. İdareci görselliğe uygun giyinmeyi unutmamalı. Ha sen misin oğlum?
Franta Cooldown sent me.
Lan şapkayı çıkaraydık.
I'm to stand in for him at the council assembly.
Franta's not coming? What's wrong with him?
Hasta de ya.
Poisoned. Probably from food. He's writhing in agony. By turns praying and cursing, spewing from both ends.
Oh, that's enough. All right. At least you're here. We can't be without a waiter here when the king himself will need waiting on. So, let's have a look at you. Have you got Franta's certificate?
Sure. Here it is.
Everything's in order. Now, about your livery. You've got a waiter's cap, a tunic you have. Hose are good. You can put your steel aside in front of the council chamber, along with your other stuff. You won't be needing it anyway. You don't want to be dragging a load if you're running around tables. Everything as it should be. Glad to see it, lad. Do you know what your duties are? For an inexperienced greenhorn like you, it'll be a great responsibility.
I'll happily listen to any advice. I wouldn't want to foul things up.
Şapkayı da çıkarayım ya.
Not. Now listen. A good waiter should stand in a corner, look willing and ready, and not get in anyone's way. In short, behave as if you're not there. But when one of the gentlemen calls for wine, you run and pour it for him on the double. You'll find the pitchers on a table by the door to the chapel. You take one and go to their table and pour for them. White Tokaib or red monastery wine.
White or red by the door to the chapel. Got it.
But for Councillor Adam of Zarjitz, you must not pour at all. When he drinks, he disrupts and makes trouble. So the assembly has to be interrupted, or otherwise it never reaches an end. We can't allow that to happen in the presence of the king.
All right. Sir Adam of Zarjit stays dry.
And if the king himself wants wine, you pour for him with lowered eyes. Don't look at him. And the most important thing?
To stay in the background and keep quiet until someone asks me something.
Correct. The councillors have a lot to discuss, and they certainly don't need any interruptions. And in general, a good waiter has to be invisible, blind, and deaf.
Oh? I thought I had to keep my ears pricked.
Well, yes, but only to what anyone wants from you. No excuses, and provide everything that anyone wants from you. Understood?
Absolutely. I'm a waiter after all, not some street gossip monger.
Correct. And if you manage not to botch it up, you can even rise on the social ladder. Not just anyone can serve the King of Hungary, but you'll manage it, right?
Tamam
I
ya.
know everything I need to. I can do it.
Excellent. Put away your things here. It's easier to serve with a lighter load. You can wait in the cubbyhole for the servants.
Şarap servisimiz siparişler misafirler sana seslenerek veya elini kaldırarak tokajı veya manastır şarabı sipariş ederler. Beyaz ya da kırmızı. Emin olamazsan siparişlerini tekrarlamalarını isteyebilirsin. Odanın köşesindeki masada 2 sürahi şarap bulacaksın. Misafirin istediği şarabın sürahisini al ve şarapla birlikte misafir oturduğu masaya yürü. Misafire şarap servis etme seçeneği sohbet üzerinden etkinleştirilir. Misafire şarap servis ettikten sonra sürahi yerine geri koyabilirsin. Ya da bir sonraki misafir aynı şarapla içerse diye bekleyebilirsin. Misafire çok bekletmemeye ve onunla sipariş etmedikleri şaraptan servis etmemeye dikkat et. Tekrarlanan gecikmelere veya hatalara göz yumulmaz. Tokajı ve manastır.
The city reserves are in urgent need of new weapons.
There are the pictures of Ryan.
Our current Waffen
splash anyone's
is a
shoes.
joke, and on top of that, the army was requisitioned from it. Should the town reserve have worse weapons than any Räuber in the domain?
What are you getting at, Eldris?
I'm saying that the bandits who freed Hinnick, the Dry Devil,
I apologize,
used that
sir.
thing.
Which one?
That Hackenbush.
White.
Beyaz.
Hand cannon. Can you believe it? Where did they get them?
Bu galiba değil mi beyaz
You're the
olan?
one who should know where they got them. Since you're a gunsmith.
What are you implying, Friedrich? All I'm saying is that they had them, Herrgott. It is eine Schande when outlaws
Sir?
have better weapons than the city garrison. And Herr König
Thank you, Waiter.
surely knows this too.
Geri dönelim.
What is it, Eldris? You smell a deal?
What I smell is that your stubborn heads do not realize what Schwierigkeiten this is. The Dry Devil is running free. There are Raubritter everywhere in the region. We have the army bearing down, and you want to defend yourselves
Var mı el
with a
kaldıran?
few rusty halberds.
And who is it
Hey,
you want to
waiter.
fight? Exactly.
Pour me some monastery
The
wine.
merciful King
Manastır.
Ziyafet
Tamam
provided
geliyor.
protection, isn't it?
Der König and his army will not be here forever.
Shut up! The king can arrive at any moment.
Monastery wine.
What if he heard?
Here.
What then? We're
Sen-
sitting atop the biggest silver heap in the
Zarzetli'ye ne
kingdom,
verecektik
and we're
ya?
supposed to defend it with brooms?
You're right, Eldris.
Kim istedi oğlum kırmızıyı?
The coin for better equipment.
We can always
Monastery
confiscate
wine.
the property
Here.
of the king's enemies.
Zarzetli'ye kırmızı verecek miydik? Zarzetli. Lan kırmızı verecek miydik Zarzetli'ye? Ha hiç vermeyecektik ya.
Nicht wahr?
We are more than familiar with the jämmerlich state of our
That's
armory.
not a good idea, sir.
The king
This is
surely aware of it
unbelievable.
as well. Maybe if he waived some of the taxes.
The king fears that this town will rise against him. He'll take the arming of the city's militia as a preparation for war.
Hey, wait
So
up.
you
Pour me
suggest
some
we
monastery
just
wine.
wait with arms crossed for the Raubritter to wreak havoc all around?
We can always ask the king to bring order to the realm with his
I
army.
apologize,
But
sir.
then the Dörfler
Which one?
will rise
Right,
up.
and
I'm
quickly.
afraid I see no solution of the current situation. We shall wait and see what His Majesty's
Kimin konuştuğunu anlayamıyorum ya.
We can
Kim
change his
istediğini.
mind. Vielleicht.
I'd like to report to the honorable council on
Waiter,
the cleanliness
get me
of
white.
the city and the state of the public baths.
You mean baths or brothels?
Isn't it
That's not a good idea, sir.
This is unbelievable.
So the cleanliness of the city is not what it should be. The current baths in the city fall far short of
Kral daha gelmedi değil mi?
citizens' needs.
But we have another bathhouse here, on Hopring.
My friend Adam from the baths in Haradek district told me about it. He says it's filthy.
Nonsense. He's just envious. Bet he sees the opportunity and people are lining up to bathe there.
Is that true?
I'd find it hard to believe. A woman?
No, really. It's clean and warm. We get wine.
Kim çağırdı beni ya?
And don't get me started on the wenches.
So don't start.
All right.
I'll go
Like some
there
white.
and
I apologize, sir.
the need
Which
for
one?
cleanliness and citizens' health should not be underestimated.
Nor overestimated. If someone needs to wash, there's a river just a few steps from the city walls.
Certainly. And they can get leeches there for free as well. And while he's there, a man can shave and take a you-know-what.
So what?
Where is my
Going
white?
to the bath
Beyaz
is
mı?
neither
Mind where
a
you're
duty
going.
nor a right.
Have you forgotten the Black Death?
Hakikaten tribe
A great
girdim ya.
many people died needlessly.
Are you questioning God's plan? The Black Death
Boy,
has nothing to do
where
with
is
the
my
baths,
wife?
unless the Lord wishes to
Huh?
punish the wickedness that's going on in there.
Keeping the city clean is important.
About time.
But we don't have money to spare. Arguing about who is going to wash where and how is a
I'd like
waste
some
of
monastery
time.
wine. Refill
It's
my
only a
cup, boy.
waste of time because we're always
Oğlum
arguing
sana
about the
yasak
same
lan.
thing.
Yasak sana yasak.
Not at all. If you'd finally admit that it's a trifle, we wouldn't have to
That's not a
keep
good
coming
idea,
back
sir.
to it.
This is
A
unbelievable.
Do you ever walk the streets?
Are you
here?
blind?
Sewage, rats, slop, and rubbish. The least we can do for the citizens is to provide them with a place to wash up.
What nonsense! Next, you'll want me to serve wine to everyone for free, too.
Why not? In Jerome Nas's earthly paradise, everything would be free.
Don't put words in my mouth.
Gentlemen, let's agree to disagree. What if the king heard us?
Aa köpek
I
var.
got word that Rutard has pulled off another deed.
That's nothing unusual. That old weasel will never accept that the city isn't run his way, at least until
I
His
fancy some
Majesty
Tokai.
honors us with his visit.
Refill, boy.
And as we know, Gunslin
Kim
absolutely
istedi?
hates him.
Heh.
He can hate all he wants, as long as he does no damage. Ulrich, what have you got to say about it?
Me? Well, I'm not sure what
Well,
thank
the Lord. I'm speaking about the Rutard incident.
Burada bekleme var biraz da.
Oh, that. Just a small misunderstanding. We've sorted it out and everything's settled.
My ears must be deceiving me. Are you defending Rutard?
Boy,
Besides,
I'd like some
if
white.
his men attacked yours, as I've heard, then we have a good reason to punish him.
What happened there?
Önden mi yapacağız illa?
I don't like Ruthard, true, but in this case it really was nothing.
Everyone in the city gossiped about it. I
Thank you,
heard there were several dead.
Did you? That's grossly exaggerated. I don't think Ruthard will cause any trouble.
Hey, waiter,
He is sensible
pour me
enough
some
not
Tokai.
to draw attention to himself while
Ha,
That's true.
Niye herkes beyaz
Because
içiyor?
if we don't do something about him, the king himself will put an end to him, and soon.
Unless he puts an end to us first. God knows what he wants to tell us.
If nothing happened, there's no point in dwelling on it. Let's move on.
Things have got out of order in the town. Some adventurers decided to take the law into their own hands and restore the tradition of duels. It's not only barbaric, but also illegal. If we tolerate this, the rabble in the city will go wild and do whatever they want. I suspect
I'd
the
like
gentleman
some
from the
monastery
city's
wine.
sword fighting
Refill
school
my
brought this
cup,
custom
boy.
to us.
Manastır
Now
falan.
run by the German Menhard. Who knows who that fellow is?
Don't be ridiculous for
Onu sen de mi istiyorsun lan? Terbiyesiz.
never been in a fight yourself. And to accuse a swordsmaster without a shred of hang around me. Vanish. We're not some old fishwives on the marketplace.
So you will just leave it be?
Proven offences are punished by the bailiff. And that's that. There are more pressing matters to deal with.
More pressing than the open contempt
Mind
of the
where you're
whole
going.
town garrison. The guards are apparently settling accounts their own way. We'll soon be the laughing stock of the whole town.
Come here for a
Rest
moment.
assured,
Kim
the whole
çağırıyor
town
beni
is
ya?
Already laughing at us all day long. So what if they have one more reason? My words exactly. The town council is squabbling constantly at the Emperor Charles, and no one is left unscathed.
Var mı bir kaldırım?
And you, a councillor, let people throw dirt on our work?
If I threw out everyone who complains over a beer,
Kaç?
I'd soon be out of customers.
Kim o?
Ah, the hell with it. We'll never get anywhere like this. Why waste our time?
Kim
Hey,
istedi?
where's my white?
Kim istiyor anlamıyorum ki. Kim istiyor oğlum? El kaldırsanız ya lan. Sana yok.
Sorry, sir. Orders from above. Better try harder.
The eternal dispute
Otherwise I'll
over the
soon give myself
cathedral.
away.
The building of the church is dragging on.
Oturayım
and in
oraya.
the meantime, they are calling diocesan pilgrimages to settlers. Right under
Elimde
our
hangisi var?
noses.
Beyaz var değil mi?
It's just a village with a monastery, and they are going to walk
Hey,
a whole mining
wait.
city. Why can't we
Pour me
build
some
faster?
monastery wine.
Hire more craftsmen, start
Monastery.
productions.
Haven't you noticed there's a war going on? Are the experts from far off supposed to work in a city under siege?
Besides,
Kimdi?
I
Monastery
get
wine.
the feeling there's
Here.
something other than the welfare of the city behind your complaints.
Oh, you do? Do you? And what would
You,
that be?
lad.
Like,
You
for
look
instance,
familiar to me.
Ya işine bak hadi.
Have we met?
altar there?
So what if I would?
Well,
Hold
naturally.
your horses, gentlemen.
I go to your tavern
That
almost
space
every
in
day.
the side name
Really?
is mine.
When hell
You
freezes
must
over, my
have decent
friend.
wages
Your
to be
place
able to
is at
visit the
least two
best
steps
tavern in
behind
town
mine.
A
regularly.
swordsmith dares to insult me? Ha! I think not.
Excuse me. You wanted to buy yourself an altar in the cathedral, just like you bought yourself a seat in this council.
How dare you? I acquired my seat for the services our guild provided and still provides to the crown.
Well, I hope you're not supplying equipment to
Waiter,
the army.
pour me
If
red
that's all
wine.
they have, they would be defeated by that bunch of ne'er-do-wells from the alehouse on Obrink.
What ne'er-do-wells?
Sen ikinciye gidiyorsun galiba.
Yes, of course.
Sir?
People from the whole town go to watch them brawl.
Oh,
Good.
this is
Now
news
run
to
along.
me.
Because it has all been sorted out. Not long ago, the guards raided and threw them all out.
Ah, yes, I had forgotten. What do we have to discuss next?
Ha sonunda ya.
I'm telling you, something is being planned. Oh, I doubt it. No one's gonna tackle Rootard.
Aha.
Azonal Türkçe gösse. Elegiop katonaikat. Ich kelkinek utra.
Sigismund. Oo.
You have nothing to fear. Not you.
And like this band of fives!
Radar boş kalesinde. Aa. Başkasıyla mı oynayacağız şimdi?
Come now, Father. Put a little life into your dying. Seen more cheerful priests at funerals.
I'd rather be at one than here. I hoped I'd never see this fortress again in my life.
Unpleasant memories?
You have no idea. I didn't part ways with my father on entirely good terms. 20 years ago.
And now you're 2 decades older and wiser. At your Ujit's parish, you spread the word of God to your flock, and you saved my neck and Henry's too. I'd say your father should be proud of you.
None of that matters a damn to him.
Who knows? Maybe that 20 years has changed a thing or two.
You know what? Let's drop the subject.
Kimle oynuyorum ben? Godwin'le mi oynuyorum?
Do you know any of the guests here?
Most of them I'm seeing for the first time in my life. It's a pretty varied company. We've had bandits, nobles, burghers, a priest, and even a rabbi coming together here. It's like the start of some joke.
Wait a moment. Rabbi, you say? The Gutenberg rabbi?
Yeah. He came with a retinue. But for now, they're keeping mostly to themselves. Maybe you should go and welcome some of them. After all, this used to be your home. And you're a spiritual man too, so you should have something in common.
I wouldn't be too sure. But I suppose I can try. Who's that French fellow you brought here from Malishov?
The great Baron Brabant. Been everywhere, knows everything, and has the keys to half the kingdom. He's got more fairy tales than my old nanny.
Can he be trusted?
He's a blabbermouth, but a harmless one. Besides, he defended Gutenberg, and you know how that went. If he were on Sigismund's side, he'd hardly have been locked up with me.
How does it feel to breathe free air again?
What can I say? You can never truly appreciate freedom until someone locks you up for a while.
Or until you become a priest.
No fear of that in my case. I intend to enjoy life to the full. Wine, women, and song.
What do you plan to do now you're a free man again?
What do you think? Get drunk, woo one of the local wenches, and wake up in the morning with no hose and a head like a church bell.
Have you perchance forgotten we're supposed to be deciding the future of the kingdom here?
I'll leave that to the older and wiser. And duller.
Dear me. I'd rather creep off into some corner with a full wineskin. But I suppose I'll have to introduce myself to the rest of the guests, eh?
Indeed you should. After all, you are one of the lords of Rabosh.
Oh, don't start with that. I'd like to steer clear of the old man as long as I can.
In that case, you should sound out Radzig and Hanush and find out what they're actually planning.
Vay be. Godwin'le oyuncusu öyle mi? Kırmızı. Bursa vardıktan sonra Godwin'in barışmadan Lord Cape'nin esiri göndereceğim. Bravo. Cape'nin Godwin'i kutlayan Bergin bir topluluğun temsilciliğini Bursa toplantısına karşılamayı denemesini önerdi. Yaşlı ve saygılı adam soylular arasında olmaktan iştahat görünmeyen genç bir adamın eşiğine. Dur önce Brabant'ta tanışalım. Nerede bu?
Good health to you, sir. I'm Godwin, a friend of that lad you arrived with, Henry. We don't know each other.
Baron Vauquelin Brabant, Chevalier d'Arezzo. The last of my line. I am a warrior, a traveler, a strategist, and also, à ma manière, a poet.
My word. Isn't that exhausting?
Mais non! And I'm glad to meet a new friend.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Baron. I knew right away we'd hit it off. How did you end up imprisoned in Malashov?
Ah, c'est une histoire compliquée. It was after I heroically led the defense of Gothenburg, and only lost it narrowly by an unfortunate turn of events.
That needs some explanation. What unfortunate turn of events?
Oh, misère. It is clear you have never been to war.
You're quite mistaken, Monsieur Baron. I have.
Ah, je suis désolé. This Bohemia is a strange land. I have seen farmhands, children, and even women fighting. But the clergy? Sainte Mère, do tell me about it. No doubt you fought on the side of truth and honor.
The last time was at Nabokov, and I'd be happy not to have to repeat it.
Ah, indeed. I have heard it was a very unequal fight.
That's a fact. No one was expecting von Bergau to turn up with that diabolical invention.
Diabolical, perhaps, but in my opinion, it shall be the future of warfare. Perhaps one day the generals will sit back drinking wine, while such devices shall wage war for them.
Do you reckon the defense of Kuttenberg would have gone better if you had them? You say you're a poet. How about a verse or two to amuse us?
Jamais. Is poetry nothing but a fuss to you? Is a poet a gesture for amusement? I think not. To recite, I require the proper mood. And besides, few here would understand me.
Where have you been on your travels? Have you seen the ocean?
But of course! I was born by the sea. If you are interested in my greatest journeys, then I have traveled with a merchant caravan all the way to the Ottoman Empire. And if you are interested in my greatest deed, then that was perhaps saving the life of the King of France.
And you wouldn't by any chance know the Pope, personally?
Which one do you mean? I spoke briefly with Boniface IX
Sallıyor
when I
gibi
was
sanki ya.
sojourning in Rome. A pleasant fellow.
How come almost nobody here knows you?
I am operating, as they say. Incognito. My great benefit is my strong connection with the French court. There, everyone knows my name. Here in Bohemia, I'm still building my reputation, slowly, but surely.
Mark my words, they'll be at each other's throats.
such rare guests. One wouldn't expect to find among Christians representatives of your community. I'm Godwin. My greetings to you.
Peace be with you. Neither would one expect a priest here. And yet...
How do you know I'm a priest?
It's not difficult to tell. After all, we have much in common. And we are both a little on unfamiliar ground here. I'm Yehuda, leader of the rabbinical court in the sacred community of Gutenberg. And this is Samuel, my aide.
Who would rather not be here at all. Why did we have to come here, Sadie? Can you not see everyone is staring at us?
Because we all need to help each other in this time of need. And why would they not stare when you are frowning so?
Are you here to arrange some trade?
We have more serious matters to attend to here
Ne kadar yavaş
than
konuşuyorsun ya.
gaining a few groschen. The situation in the town and the kingdom is unsustainable. The whole land is on the brink of destruction. You have men and weapons. We have the means to sustain them.
Why are you telling this to a Koimer? You wanted to deliver what we brought to the Margrave and quickly leave.
Everything in good time, Samuel. We have just arrived, after all.
Did you come to lend money to the lords?
Not to lend, but to give. Help given to the needy is repaid only by God.
You don't even know if you can trust them. With that money, we could have paid mercenaries ourselves.
You remind me of my young friend Henry. He's a bit of a hothead too.
Henry? That messenger of Radzik Copula?
You know each other. You're both around the same age.
That would be him. We did not get off to a very good start.
I reckon the two of you would hit it off. He's reliable and has his heart in the right place. For a young stripling, he's been through plenty. It's not so long since his parents were killed in Skalitz. He was supposed to become a blacksmith, and instead, he's roaming the world, risking his neck at every turn.
Wait, a blacksmith, you say? From Skalitz?
Aye, that's right. Did you know anyone there?
I knew of someone. A blacksmith by the name of...
Babanız.
My daughter knew him most, and that is why Samuel is in this world. For our numerous sins.
Maybe he was my father, but he certainly didn't act like one. Ma raised me on her own.
And that was all for the best.
Why? He should have taken care of me, but instead he fathered
Allah
another
Allah.
bastard.
Don't make hasty judgments. As far as I know, Martin didn't have any other children. At least, none of his own. He took in Henry and raised him as his own, on the orders of the Lord of Skalitz, Sir Radzik Kobila, Henry's real father.
I don't care if he took care of 20 other Mamsas.
That boy's blood father denied him, just like yours did to you.
A person can't choose their parents. And Henry only found out about it recently.
Enough. I'd rather have a drink. Will you have one too, Zayde?
For that, there will be more suitable times.
Good health.
L'chaim.
Dear friends and allies, in these troublesome times, you all know why we're here. The question remains, what to do next? Sigismund is facing troubles in Hungary, and here too, he is up against resistance. He's a capable strategist, but a poor diplomat. Mark my words. If we wait him out until winter, he will leave of his own accord.
By winter, he'll have torched all our fortresses and carried off everything that we possess.
Are we seriously gonna wait and cower in a corner? Or are we gonna drive them out in shame? A few well-planned raids and we could have
Gözü
him in our
düzelmiş mi ya?
fists.
At what price? Have you got men to spare? Has any of you got men and money to spare?
We don't have men out there.
Yes, we do.
We do not.
Jobst is right. That whole sun won't fall easily.
Only we can't wait.
Are we to get ourselves killed?
Or end with nothing.
Burası da karıştı.
Friends, we'll get nowhere like this. Let's adjourn ourselves and try to think it through.
Well, that went just as expected. Good health.
And to yours. Could it have gone any other way when there's so many of us here?
I would have expected a bit more sense from Jobst, of all people. He made an amateur's mistake. But it's hard to be angry with him when he's trying to ingratiate himself with everyone. By the way, I'm John of Liechtenstein.
Liechtenstein.
And you must be Godwin, the son of...
That's not a thing I've ever boasted of. How do you know that?
I have my sources. From what I've heard about you, I'd judge you could be quite useful to me at today's gathering.
Is that so?
Indeed. And that's why I'd like to ask something of you.
As it happens, I've got nothing better to do anyway.
Excellent. I expect we can agree that Jobst's plan has certain shortcomings?
That's a weak word.
And the way it stands at the moment, he'll never get the support of the council. But I have an idea how to change that.
Well, I'm curious how you hope to shut Zizka up and satisfy the ones who want peace.
We'll sit and wait quietly until Sigismund withdraws of his own volition, as Jobst proposes, but we'll be waiting in the military camp of our huge new army.
When Sigismund sees that, he'll be off to Hungary all the sooner. At a gallop.
Exactly. Sigismund's army is demoralized and weakened. And besides, he's running out of resources. He's able to tackle fortresses that aren't able to defend themselves, but he won't engage an equal force on the battlefield.
But he can't retreat either. That would be a disgrace.
And that's exactly why we'll wait until he's called back to Hungary by events there. For the plan to work, we need allies, their money and their determination. We've already set the ground for it. We just need negotiators who will push the right people in the right direction.
Are you saying you set everything in motion even before Jobst?
More like in parallel, but without his knowledge. If we find support and make it look like the whole thing was his idea, we'll all win.
Why are you doing all this anyway?
Because I want to put a stop to the senseless deaths. And also because I'm happier with Wenceslas on the Bohemian throne.
You've got an interesting way of approaching things.
You're certainly not the first to tell me that. I take it as a compliment.
I'll help you. What exactly should I do?
I'll give you 3 names. Botchek of Kunstadt, Hamann Alder, and Anna of Waldstein. If you can get those 3 on our side, we've won the day. Meanwhile, I'll take care of Jobst.
What if it doesn't work?
I refuse to even consider that outcome. Because it would mean slow, but certain defeat for all of us.
Why me, of all people?
Because you've got a head on your shoulders. You know how to talk, and you're not just out for your own good. You and your friend Henry are similar in that respect. That's why I know I can count on you both.
Ne
There aren't
konuştunuz
many
ya?
like you two left.
Tell me a bit more about those people, so I know who I'm dealing with.
Certainly. Who do you want to start with?
Botchek of Kunststadt. I know the name, but I can't quite place him.
That's just the thing. He's got massive estates, great influence, but he holds back. He doesn't play the big game, because he doesn't like to take risks. He always goes for the sure thing. But once he's made his mind up, not even a pair of oxen will hold him back.
Alder the Alderman. Wasn't he a Kuttenberg councillor?
He still is. The only one who retained his position after the city was taken. Only he's here, instead of cozying up with Sigismund in Kuttenberg. So his days in the council are numbered. But he'll continue to have a strong influence on the guilds and the rich burghers. And that's why we need him.
Anna of Waldstein. The widow of that rich mine owner. What was his name?
Wenzel Bartosz. And I'm not surprised you forgot.
I was quite surprised to see her here. Assemblies like this are more of a...
A male affair? So far, Godwin, so far. Anna is holding back and behaving like an exemplary young widow. But don't trust appearances. She's got claws, she knows how to do her sums, and she certainly has no love lost for Sigismund.
And what use can she be to us? Apart from her late husband's money, of course.
She's as sharp as they come when it comes to trade. And she knows a thing or two about diplomacy. There are wicked tongues that claim Bartosz acquired most of his wealth thanks to her. And that it was thanks to her that he died, too.
I'll get on it then. Wish me luck.
I wish us both luck. Before the day is over, the die will be cast.
Success to our plans.
Holstein'ı Anna'dan destek al.
God bless. Jesus Christ be praised.
God be with you, noble lady. There's something I'd like to ask of you.
God be with you. What would that be?
Your diplomatic support. And your money.
No beating around the bush, eh? I like that. But what do you want my money for?
Margrave Yob's plan has some gaps, milady. We need to gather enough resources to...
To muster an army that Margrave can't afford on his own?
Christ. Be praised. You're astute.
I should say so. All sorts of people have their eyes on my money, and divining their intentions is a necessity. Although, between the two of us, it isn't hard to figure out what Liechtenstein is after.
How do you know Liechtenstein's behind it?
I know most of the people here very well. Many of them certainly have doubts about the Margrave's plans, but they wouldn't dream of stating them aloud. While it seems that Lord Liechtenstein, on the contrary, sees his opportunity.
I'd say you have a better nose for people than most of this crowd.
Not only for people, but also for good food and wine, and beneficial deals.
Who did you learn from? In my experience, women usually learn other skills.
I acquired the basics from my husband, God rest his soul. And the rest I learnt quickly, as soon as others started sniffing around his estate. So, to the point. What is it that Liechtenstein wants from me?
Nothing more than support and resources for an army to parley more effectively with Sigismund.
Nothing more? I'd say that's plenty. And why ask me for help? Why should I, of all people, take the risk?
Ne desek ki ya?
Sigismund won't take revenge on a woman. That would tarnish his reputation.
Maybe he wouldn't directly, but nasty accidents can happen to anyone. If you want me to support you, you must give me a good reason. Perhaps a favor in return.
Do you have something in particular in mind?
Well, one of the guests here has something that shouldn't get into the wrong hands.
Who's that?
Harmon Alder. Now, if you were to switch these papers for the ones he brought with him, I would support your proposal.
And these papers I'm supposed to switch, what do they concern?
My relatives somehow dug up some trade contracts between myself and certain undesirable parties.
You were dealing with the enemy.
They were not the enemy at the time. My conscience is clear, but I'll rest easier when those papers are in my hands.
And the papers I'm supposed to plant on Alder?
Just insignificant documents. If the incriminating ones disappeared without a trace, it would arouse suspicion.
All right, I'll help you. Or at least I'll give it a try.
Alder will surely have the papers in his saddlebags, which he left in the shed on the outer courtyard. Bring them to me, and put these there instead. But watch yourself. Odorin's groom has eyes everywhere.
I'll tell you, nobody has the likes of these.
Not even Bocek?
Not even Bocek.
I'd like to check your horses out and see if they're as good as you say.
Ha, even better. But you won't believe it until you see for yourself.
And you might not believe your eyes when you do see them. Well, well, we have a new guest.
I wanted to...
You wanted to apologize for crashing into my home without it by your leave. Or to arrest my guests some more?
Niye bu kadar sert çıktın ya?
Well, I'm having a word with you.
I apologize, Father.
For interrupting our conversation? Or just for being you?
Is that your...
Unfortunately. Speak up then. What are you doing here?
I came with a delegation from Sir Hanush of Lipa.
Is this a joke?
Why so strict, Martin?
20 years ago, he was nothing but a cheeky brat, only interested in wenches and booze. I got him a place at the Archbishopric to have some sense beaten into his head. Only it wasn't long before they kicked him out. And then I find out he's settled in some backwater parish in Sassau. But he took his boozing and whoring along with him, lost everything, and then came creeping home again. Huh?
Try saying it again a little louder. They might not have heard you in the outer courtyard.
You have the impertinence to show me your face after the way you disgraced our whole family?
Akraba mı bunlar?
You're exaggerating, like you've always done.
Me? Exaggerating? You're the one who turned my home into a house of ill repute. Your whores wandering around as if they owned the place.
Oh, actually, anything fun was strictly banned under your roof. But maybe you ought to try it yourself sometime. Then maybe you wouldn't be such a bitter old grouch.
You're dishonoring your host.
I can't dishonor someone who has no honor. If you had any, you'd be...
That's enough.
Christopher.
You won't get away with those insults. I challenge you to a duel.
Ne alaka ya?
We've never met, and we have no cause to be enemies. Take back your challenge, and we'll sort things out peacefully.
You've got no other option. You insulted Father's honor.
Gentlemen, surely there's no need for violence.
Sıkılmıştım biraz aksiyona
I can
gidelim.
have a word in private with Lord Odorin, the second, as he desires, and then...
Out of the question. This uncouth lout needs a lesson. And he's got plenty to learn from Christopher. By God's grace, I have at least one son I can be proud of.
You want satisfaction? You'll get nothing but shame. As always. Suit yourself, then. We'll fight. Come to the outer courtyard, but quietly. We don't have to put on a show for the crowd.
After you.
Well, that's that. Now, where were we?
Shouldn't we rather...
No, Christopher will sort it out, you'll see.
Make room for us. We'll just settle a very private matter. It's an honorable duel, man against man. Stay back.
Stand firm! Otherwise the first strike will put you on your arse!
Enough!
Ya bu kadar
That
mı?
will do. My God. Where did you learn to wield a sword like that?
Oğlum
Father
dokunamadım
always
bile
said
lan.
you were a good-for-nothing boozer. But you could teach sword fighting in a school.
I was in a war. Right after they kicked me out of the archbishopric. And you ought to know yourself. Not all the faults that Father sees are real.
Aye. Well, I apologize for going off like that. I had to, so that...
So Father would be satisfied. I know. Only he'll never be satisfied. The sooner you realize that, the better.
I thought he was the way he was because his first son let him down. And he hoped at least his second would become something.
And no luck again, eh? When I was 6 years old, I fell off a horse and broke my leg. He wouldn't talk to me for a week because I'd let him down.
The first time he took me hunting, he let me starve for 3 days until I was able to shoot my first hare.
Only 3 days. He got soft.
I always wondered who you were. There was never much talk about you at home.
Look, I really did fuck up everything I could. I brawled and boozed until they threw me out of my own parish. But now, I have a chance to put things to rights a little.
And that's why you want to talk to Alder.
I've got to get him on our side and to cooperate with us.
Aren't we all on the same side?
Maybe everyone's saying that. But it's time to put it into action.
After your encounter with Father, it won't be easy to get to Alder. Actually, I don't think you should even attempt it. Unless you want to anger Father even more.
What else can I do, though?
I'll talk to him myself. He'll hear me out for sure. But you'll have to trust me. And tell me what it's all about.
All right, then. You've heard Yob's plan, right? It's a nice idea, but we can't wait around without an army to back us up.
Only no one's going to pay for one, because that would be an outright admission of rebelling against Sigismund.
Alder's got some clout with the councillors and burghers who are loyal to Sigismund. If he agrees, they'll follow.
I expect Alder's not the only one you're after.
You got that right.
Leave Alder to me. The plan sounds sensible, and he's no fool.
I don't know how to thank you.
You can drag me to a tavern sometime. Pa doesn't need to know about it.
You're starting to sound like a brother.
Evet. Bir iki belgeleri değişti.
What brings you here?
Ya bu benim atımmış ya.
You'd better... Greetings.
Konuşalım bir.
What
Ona
do you
kız var.
need?
Aren't you a bit bored?
What's your problem? The horses are fed and watered. I'm not idle.
God forbid. But standing around here must be a pain in the arse, no? You might get thirsty.
Not really. What of it?
Shall we roll some dice? I'm sure you can take a little breather, eh?
Well, all right. but just for a little while. I'll wait at the table over there.
Hadi. Nereye gitti o adam? Ah, buraya gelmiş. Oynayalım bari.
I'm seriously curious about you, lad.
İyi geldi ama.
G'day, g'day. Alright, that'll do. Finished.
God be with you.
Your turn.
Şşş. Risk alacağım ya. $250.
God be with you, my friend. And with you?
Here. Great! And it's mine. You're out of luck, my boy.
İşimi hallettim zaten. Hadi sana kolay gelsin.
Godwin, you wouldn't be avoiding me. We didn't have much time for conversation on the way here. Let's rectify that.
With pleasure, sir. As it happens, there's something I'd like to ask you. What are you expecting from today's gathering, my lord?
Well, I have no great expectations. But, all going well, we may be able to establish some joint steps towards the future. As long as we proceed without prior agreement and mutual support, we will be very unlikely to achieve any progress.
I couldn't help but notice your son has a bit of a talent for getting into trouble.
To put it mildly, but not to do him an injustice, knowing young Lord Capon, he undoubtedly contributed to that more than a little. Although, if they didn't pull each other out of trouble, God knows where they'd be now.
Wise words. Still, Henry's come a long way on a thorny path. I trust you're rightfully proud of him.
You know, I am. And Martin would also be glad, even though Henry chose a different path than he.
May God grant him eternal rest. Where did you leave Sir Divish? Surely he's not too old to miss out on such an event.
Haven't you heard? Lady Stephanie is with child. No one even imagined Divish would produce an heir at his age.
As they say, doesn't matter who kneaded the dough, as long as there's a pie in the oven.
Godwin.
Well, it could be a miracle. Praise the Lord.
God bless.
Şurada konuşalım.
May I have a word with you, sir?
You? Anytime. With you, at least, there's some, unlike this pack of conceited upstarts.
Have you got something against the Kuttenberg nobles?
Their forefathers lived up to their ears in dung. But thanks to the royal and they think that can turn their blood blue.
But surely they're not all like that. And they are our allies.
Allies or not, someone ought to show them their place.
Young Lord Capon is finally free again.
He got a harsh lesson. But at least he might remember to lay off that tomfoolery of his for a while. But if not, war will make a man.
Do you think there's really going to be a war? I mean a proper one, not just sitting around and talking about it.
I sincerely hope so. Whoever sits around risks nothing. It's time to get off our asses and take action.
What do you think about Jobst?
Are you testing me? Jobst called this assembly and he wants things to turn out well. We have to trust him.
To turn out well for whose benefit, though? Some are up to their elbows in silver and blood. So others...
Better make sure you're among the latter, then. And in the meanwhile, help the former to keep their losses to a minimum. Take a look at that. A nightingale surrounded by hawks.
Job's the nightingale. He looks more like a wet head to me.
Vergileri verelim.
Quite unusual to see him cornered like this.
I've got those papers from Alder for you.
Quiet! You don't have to announce it to everyone.
Milady, with all the clamor going on here, I can hardly hear my own thoughts. Here they are.
You're more capable.
You're welcome. And now you...
As agreed. I will support Liechtenstein's proposal.
Thank you, noble lady.
Yes, quite. But let's drink to our...
How could I refuse a toast with such a fine lady?
And to the success of our...
Innkeeper, a beer!
Like my ward, who I can't
Ne konuşacaktım şimdi? Bu çekti.
unattended for a few days without him.
Hadi bu da mı üst katta? Altı gösteriyor ortada o zaman.
They're trying to do one thing and one thing only. Line...
Sir Bocek, I need to speak with you for a moment.
A man hardly puts his cup to his lips and someone comes along to put a flea in his ear. Jobst comes up with a plan as full of holes as a beggar's shoes, and now you're all jostling...
On the contrary, I've come here with an idea how to improve it.
Does that improvement include a few thousand men-at-arms? If not, you can...
A few thousand men-at-arms as a convincing argument. And 100 horsemen on top. Only in order to get them, we need...
You've got my attention, but not my money yet.
Don't worry, it's not just your money I want to draw on. Believe it or not, we've gained other patrons for our cause too.
Really? Name at least one of those lunatics, then.
Anna of Volstein, for instance.
Truly? Well, let's see about it then.
I wouldn't mention the word lunatic.
All right, let's discuss it, candidly. I have a lot of property, lots of subjects to look after, and along with that, the Lord blessed me with a large family. I can't risk it all in a conflict with Sigismund.
So you need guarantees that you won't be left standing in the cold if you openly oppose Sigismund?
My guarantee is called Yitka. She's my niece. If I succeeded in marrying her off to another strong house, I'll have the certainty that I won't be left alone.
Maybe it's enough to find a suitable groom.
Perhaps someone of suitable standing who Yitka would also gladly accept. I don't want her to be unhappy.
I believe Liechtenstein.
And an uncertain party. Besides, he's inconvenient for Sigismund. Yitka could end up being a pawn to blackmail both of us.
How about young...
He's a youngster.
He may be young. He's got battle experience. And when he gets the estate that's his by right, he'll be well secured.
If he gets it. Right now, Hanush lords over Rattay and seems quite happy with that state of affairs. On the other hand, the lords of Lipa have a good reputation, and Hanush can always be relied on, despite his temper. Maybe it's not such a bad idea.
So?
You're selling the skin of a boar that's still burst. I want a confirmation that the wedding will take place as soon as possible.
And what if Lord Capon...
I don't care what the young lord thinks. Hanush is the one to decide. If he agrees, I'll be happy to support.
Pushing a friend to tie the knot to save the king...
The kingdom will not forget his sacrifice. Now stop dilly-dallying.
We have Martins in the attic.
God bless you.
Sir Hanush, I bring happy tidings.
You do? Let's hear it then.
Young Lord Capon is going to get married.
If he's got some impoverished noble's daughter pregnant, I'll have his hide. I'm not going to support some bastard.
You misunderstood my meaning. I was the one who arranged the betrothal. I mean, with your blessing.
You arranged a marriage for my ward? Just like that? With who?
With the niece of Sir Butchek, Lord of Kunstadt. Her name's Yitka.
Butchek of
Yitka kimdi ya?
The Butchek of Kunstadt? Godwin, you conniving old bastard.
Oh, fuck.
I don't believe it. So, young Hans is to marry Kunstadt's daughter?
Niece.
If you're serious, I'll make sure that you get the Rattay parish.
Or you could make me the abbot of Sassa. Or what about a bishop?
Forget it. Soon I'll be paying for a wedding. Not a word to Hans. I want to tell him myself.
Cheers!
Cheers to you! And to your pa-
Konuştuk.
Sir Butchek, your niece...
So Hanush agreed?
Indeed.
Then I will fulfill my end of the bargain without reservation.
Thank you, Lord of Kunstadt.
Enough formality. We'll have a drink. What?
Cheers to the beautiful...
Here's to a
Herkes
good
içtik
bargain.
ya. Liechtenstein nerede? Yukarıda mı?
I'm still hoping it works out and we walk out of here with a clear plan. But maybe...
Gentlemen, I think we can raise our goblets to the success...
Is this supposed to be your secret weapon?
Like I said, miracles happen where you... Tell me, Godwin of the House of Odorin.
I bring nothing from the House of Odorin. But the widow of Val...
Both of them. Good heaven.
This is going to be a long story, and I could use a drink.
It would seem that we have all
Sonunda
benefited
anlaştık
from the
mı?
break in these proceedings. New alliances have been formed. And I have also changed my plans. We shall still wait for Sigismund to withdraw his troops of his own accord. But we will wait with an army at our backs.
And how are we to raise an army? Wasn't it made clear at the meeting that no one wants to take the risk?
The only thing made clear was that each of us alone is weak, and that we could not find common ground. But that has now changed.
King Wenceslas is, by the will of God, the Balbatim of all his subjects. Not only the Christians, our community, and not only ours. They'll give you coin.
The Kuttenberg houses are still loyal to King Wenceslaus, and we stand with Lord Ruthard.
And if that's not enough, the houses of Leipa and Kunstadt will unite and march side by side.
My niece, Yitka, will take young Lord Capon as her husband.
Apon ne oluyor lan diyor.
Lord Lords Kunstadt, Hanush, Radzig, and I will set out immediately. God willing, we will be back within 3 weeks, along with an army.
Now those are words worthy of a nobleman.
My friend, I still believe that words are more powerful than swords. And our words will ring in 1,000 voices to the glory of King Wenceslas.
Sırada Kutamır Belediye binasında. Görevmiş be.
After we conquered the city, you promised to restore order immediately. And then I find out things are even more disordered than before.
Your Majesty, we are sorry. We will put it to rights.
You've already said that. I want to hear real solutions.
We will put more guards on the roads and toughen penalties. We can have a few captured bandits executed as an example to others.
We do not care about bandits. We care about rebellious nobles and burghers. What will you do with them? How will you solve the chaos in the town administration, the rebellious miners, and the dismal yields? And how is it even possible that a rebellion against the king is smoldering here in the city?
What do you mean, sire?
I hear the resistance is coming from the Jewish quarter, from right under your noses. Why haven't you done anything?
We don't know who is behind this. Without evidence, we cannot punish them.
Otto von Berghoff did not ask questions in Prague either. He acted. And I advise you to do the same. Find a couple of wretches in a hole somewhere. Point them to the Jewish quarter and give them free rein. To do anything. The city's Jewish community was and still is on Wenceslas' side. They need a warning.
We do not even have enough men to...
Marquardt, could you spare a few men for a while?
Of course, sire. I'll assign them to Eric. He'll take care of it.
So you see, all you have to do is make sure the city rabble get their share. You could at least manage that, couldn't you? And if the thought should cross your minds that you would get rid of the debts to the Jewish moneylenders this way, forget about it. Your debts will remain, up to the last groschen. Only now you owe us directly. And while we are on the subject of money, has the yield from the mines finally matched last year's?
Sire, the deposits are dwindling, and mining is becoming increasingly difficult. And to make matters worse, the miners started rebelling.
Don't take us for a fool. They'll stop rebelling when you pay them proper wages.
Your Majesty, we can't do that.
Silence! How dare you oppose the kingdom's protector? You're a bunch of incompetent sycophants. Chicken shits. Not any better than the scum hiding in the forest.
I apologize, sire. I'll do everything in my power to...
All I hear from you over and over again are excuses and prevarication. And results? None. I therefore placed the city council under the authority of Sir Marquardt von Aulitz, who is present here, with immediate effect. He will make sure you finally do your duty.
But, sire, that would be a violation of the privileges granted to us as a free mining town.
Silence! I am the only guarantor of your rights. You have to earn your privileges, not hide behind them. During my brother's reign, this idleness was perhaps tolerated. But that is over now. You were given a few simple tasks. But instead of working on them, you idled in the baths and lined your pockets. And let the traitors cast their nets undisturbed.
Kral haklı.
But unlike my brother, I am capable of creating order. And I assure you, I do not distinguish between those who stand in my way. Be they beggars, noblemen, or city councillors. You have 2 weeks to restore order in the city and increase mining output. I want clear results, and you answer only to me and Sir Marquardt von Aulitz now. No one else. The council is dismissed. You, don't go anywhere, boy. Be so kind and remain here. Our throat has become rather dry. And we still wish to speak with our friend von Aulitz.
Yes, sire. As you wish, sire.
Between the two of us, Marquardt, was I not perhaps too harsh on them? And speak candidly, we have had enough of false flattery.
Sire, you were harsh, but rightfully so. These councillors, they need to be shown their place. You suffered their insolence for far too long. And the same is true of the Jews.
We know. Otto repeated to us several times that it is time to strike against them. We are glad he's not here. He would be intolerably self-satisfied if he knew we had heeded him.
Boy, can't you see the King's cup is empty?
You tend to us as if we were infirm. Boy, pour us a monastic wine.
Monster.
The monks had a good year. We have concerns, friend. The Hungarians are rebelling. Our army is falling apart, and we have enemies here on all sides. Would we had a proper army instead of human mercenaries? They cannot be relied upon. And we are no closer to our goal now than a few months ago. Thank you. It is a good year. If our father were still alive, he would have been astonished by the mess that a few years of Wenceslas' reign brought to us. With a single word, he would have put the nobility in their place, and the country would flourish. God grant him eternal glory.
We won't need much more time. We'll arrest the traitor Odorin, and the rest will fall in line.
You say the others will be brought into line, but what do you know of them? We know only a few of them. But there's a fortress standing on every damn hill here. What side are their lords on?
We'll find out soon enough, sire.
If only Wenceslas were not such a stubborn ass, and relinquished that throne that he has no use for anyway. The nobility, on the other hand, found a ruler like him very useful. They made a puppet out of him.
Once you restore order, they'll join you. All you have to do is promise them the privileges they lost during Wenceslas' reign.
First, they'd have to be willing to make peace at least among themselves. Jobst does everything he can to sow chaos, so that he himself emerges victorious in the end. This business makes me thirsty. Pour me some of that red, boy.
I think Jobst is just waiting for the right moment. He'll switch sides when it suits him.
Maybe. But first I'll have to conquer a few more cities, and get a couple more lords on my side. Then they take the threat of war seriously. And Hungary. If Bohemia is a wasp's nest, then Hungary is a viper's lair.
You will follow in his footsteps, sire, as soon as you get the chance.
But the wine is good here. To your health, Marquardt. And to your health too, boy. May your children grow in a land ruled by a good king. You did a good job, waiter. You can be proud of yourself.
your health, Your Majesty.
First, we need to crack down on the biggest troublemakers.
We're working on it. While the council was meeting, Otto von Berghoff and his men set out for Rabosch. Alderin won't give you any more trouble.
He and Ruthard are in it together. Once we get Oderin, we can handle Ruthard easily. Rabosch will be yours. After all, Otto has already got Malishov.
I appreciate your confidence, sire.
But the devil knows there are a lot more strongholds to conquer here.
For the king, red wine, boy.
Şimdi yine mi lan?
We shall have white. We have had enough of red.
White it is. Quickly.
Tamam.
If Rabosch falls, others will follow.
I think von Berghoff's little contraption will find its use again.
If need be, we could use it to raise this town hall too. And I have some suggestions for other candidates.
Not so fast, my friend. It's a wondrous tool, but we can't rely on it forever.
But to bring it here to the square and point it at the city hall? Those sycophants would only benefit from a warning like that.
It's a splendid idea, but it won't be necessary. The councillors are quite fearful enough already that they can hide nothing from us.
There's been enough fretting, sire. You shall see. Soon we will drink to the conquest of another fortress.
You are right. So then, to victory. And you, boy, will you drink with us? So that you shall have something to tell your children and grandchildren.
To victory, sire.
To today's, and those of the future.
Akşamları yansıttığı Rabosch Kalesi'nde.
Didn't he say that Lord Kronstadt was going with them? So what? They left a long time ago.
Now we close our doors for the evening. People here know what to do. There'll be plenty more tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday too.
Fuckings for beggars. I'd rather eat well.
Herkesin kafa gitmiş.
I'd like to drink a toast with you to our joint success. So, to touching. Come now. What's be?
I never had one.
Truly?
Well, maybe once. The older I get, the worse it...
See now. I'll gladly... Only, there's nothing to drink. We've run dry.
Fuck. I've got a tongue like a slice of week-old bread after all that...
Well, get something wet.
His lordship is so unsteady on his legs, he can't make it.
To hell with that keg slop. You'll find I had my eye on him all evening. He had pitchers brought from and left the rest of us to drink cheap dregs.
You can bet on it. I've got a nose for booze.
I don't doubt it.
Piglet. Fuckings for beggars. I'd rather eat well.
Baron... How'd you like our wine, Siobhan?
The art of winemaking has recipes are passed on from I
Var biraz
myself
boş
was
muhabbet ya.
practically raised on wine. Even the French royal, the king himself, had wine delivered for his.
I expect his lordship had the best barrels...
Best, but this wine would perhaps be suited to the infirmary. Give me 100 knights in full armor.
Started retching.
God be Sorry.
From cleaning up this pigsty? Anytime.
I need help with something. Do you know where I might be? I mean, the ones with the really good wine.
And you're one of those?
I should say so.
And I'm the king. Anyway, I don't know nothing about no wine. In case you haven't noticed, I'm sweeping the floor. Try asking my ma. She's the cook here.
Hiçbir şey göremiyorum ki. O neydi o? Ne oluyor oğlum?
Greetings. Can't it wait till morning?
Sorry, I don't want to
What do you think? A fortress full of hungry mouths and half of them noble lords accustomed to all...
I haven't eaten so...
He didn't have to choose me. My old ma spent her whole life in this kitchen.
Wait! You're Kavietta's daughter?
It's been a long time. I was afraid you'd forgotten me.
You haven't changed.
But I have. And you've changed too. You left a haughty young pup, and now you return...
An old...
Not at all. The years have been...
And how have you been all this time? Did my father give you a hard time?
Not really. When he remarried and had another, I also got married. And soon I had my little Elishka running around under my feet, and the young Sir Christopher used to come and play with her sometimes.
And your husband?
Kuba, he died when Elishka was just a baby.
God grant him... Tell me more about Elishka.
She's a big girl now. She's a maid here for now, but
Well, aren't you worried about her?
Even as a little girl, she used to beat up the boys in the village. I put up with all sorts of things.
Why don't we go somewhere together? And...
You really haven't changed. You ought go and have a drink and stop chasing girls. I mean, it's embarrassing.
Where might I find a really good...
Why? You don't like this...
It's not for me.
Aha. If you go down the cellar stairs, it's Lord Odorin's best.
I've got some warm wood downstairs.
The rat'll be good, I hope.
Zaten görmüştüm bunu.
Now there's a piece of horseflesh for you, Rootheart. Not like that nag of yours.
What the hell do you feed it with? It looks more like a damn bull.
Sir! Sir! There's some horsemen right out front of the fortress.
Ah, that's Peter of Pisac. Wouldn't come to the council, but he is coming happily to the celebration, you old fox.
Come on in, sir. There's wine aplenty.
Burgov geldi. Oğlum hepiniz sarhoşsunuz lan.
surrounded Christopher. He can't make it on his
Come
own.
on, scum. Don't kill him. This one's mine.
Dur bir ya. Kim daldı bana? Lan.
Jesus! They're surrounding Christopher. He can't make it on his own.
You'll regret that, fucker. I still can't quite do that. We'll kick your asses. Let him have it. Knock him down. Nice strike.
Bu kim? Henry.
Go!
Oh. Hey, I need a hand here. Oh, good shot.
Do it!
You won't get me. Nice hit. He's had it. Get ready to leave this life. Christ. Shit. Strike between the eyes. Do it. He's had it.
My God's will!
Come on, hands.
Adama bak.
That was a close shave.
A little too close. Fuck me. Did my eyes deceive me? Henry!
Godwin!
How did you get... Damn. I can't tell you how happy I am to see you. You turned up at just the right moment.
Is everyone alright?
Well, some are, some aren't. They captured Odorin, Kunstad and Rutard. And they took Alder and Conrad of Vector away too.
They wanted to slay the rest like dogs.
What about my father? And Hanush?
They left with Yobs long before that. I'm sure they're all right, but not everyone was so lucky.
Where did they go? Back to Rattay?
They've got to raise an army for us. And I hope they fucking hurry.
So we have a plan to counter Sigismund?
More of a promise than a plan.
But, as you can see, our allies are getting scarce. We should lay low until Jobst gets back.
I'll gladly play dead for a while.
Be so kind. And don't speak of the dead.
What happened, Godwin? Who died?
Anna of Waldstein.
Oh.
She didn't stand a chance against those butchers. May she rest in peace.
She was simply in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And they almost killed my brother.
But only almost. Good work.
What do you mean, almost? What happened?
I got there in time to help him, fortunately. Christopher tried to defend our father, but nearly lost his life doing it. For nothing.
Old grievances aside, Odorin is an ally, the same as Rutard and Botchek.
Oh, they all have their quirks. Cousin Botchek's a money-grabbing magpie. But I won't give up on the fucker either.
We'll have to wait for the other side's move anyway. We don't even know where von Berghout took them.
I tried to come as soon as possible and warn you, but von Bergov's people beat me here.
You knew he was coming.
He wanted Odorin. He probably had no idea they'd find most of Sigismund's enemies here in one place.
I bet he couldn't believe his fucking luck.
And Sigismund will be moving at a gallop. We have to be really careful now. One wrong move, and he'll hang the lords.
You want to give up now?
Nobody said anything about giving up. We'll treat the wounded, bury the dead, get the hell out of here. Then we'll hide in the Devil's Den and wait for Jobst and his army.
If I survive the journey... Oh, God's teeth. That stupid nag nearly broke me in half.
The king announced one more thing at the council. He asked the councillors to... That is, he ordered it.
Fuck! Liechtenstein's got his people there.
The city rabbi is sitting upstairs in the hall. At least he's safe here.
They're our allies. We have to help them.
What do you mean by we? Everyone here is lucky to be still breathing.
Maybe Samuel will figure something out.
He's here too?
Aye, escorting the rabbi. You should go and see them as soon as possible. And tell Lich...
Anyway, we've got work to do. Godwin?
Give me a moment. I'll go and see Christopher. Guard the walls until morning. If anyone shows up, I want to know about it. I'll be with Christopher.
They put enough arrows in him.
Bir de
What about your home? I don't know. Christ.
Did I not tell you we should not come here?
You did. But I still...
You wanted to talk?
I did.
Just tell him. You may not get another chance.
I talked to God.
What did you talk about?
We talked about your stepfather.
Why? Neither of you knew him.
It's true, I did not. Remember how I stared at your sword when we first met? I recognized, well, the thing...
What?
Yes, his son.
Are you sure? We look the same age, and Martin lived with...
When I was born, he was already long gone.
kardeş mi?
Proof perhaps that both your god and mine have a sense of humor. You know, but now that I know I will never see him.
I can tell you about him if you want. This is not the end. We have to go to Kuttenberg, now. Sigismund ordered confiscation of the property of people in the...
The king has approved Xere.
He's no king to me. He's a fucking whoreson.
What's a Gezera?
That is hard.
Nonsense. It is as clear as day. Christians set out to kill our people. Innocent and often defenseless. Ransack their houses and divide the loot. And all that with the king's blessing.
This is what we were afraid of. but we did not expect. We need to get back into the city and get the people out. Will you come with us, Henry? Every man counts.
I have to tell Liechtenstein, but then we'll set off right away.
Go and tell him, but hurry.
Why did we even come here? But he'll live, right?
He should. He was covered in blood, but most of it probably wasn't his.
Thank God for small mercies. Otherwise, Gravosh would be left without a law.
There are crows circling overhead. The tower is still smoking. And you want to run away?
Here, shouted.
Bunlar niye burada?
I don't think they heard you in the courtyard.
Comet's been gaib.
What will happen to his lordship?
Hans ne yapıyor?
Good to see you both.
Oh, come on. You know I've walked out of much worse scrapes laughing.
They could well have killed us all. If it hadn't been for you, Henry, von Berkhoff could have caused a lot more harm.
Von Aulitz surprised even Sigismund with that. You should have seen the look on the king's face when he told him.
Well, thank God we all survived.
Well, not all of us. They killed Lady Anna of Volstein.
And they captured our closest and most influential allies. Without them, we can hardly get the burghers on our side. We're stuck.
We'll figure out a way to help them.
But how? Our plans are ruined.
Get a grip. Whining doesn't help anyone.
You're right. When I drink, nevertheless, I have to admit it can't get much worse.
Actually, it might. And very soon. At Sigismund's council, an order was given to ransack the Jewish quarter.
God's wounds! We need to get back to the city and warn them.
I'm going with you.
Out of the question. Do you want to end up imprisoned again? You'll be more useful if you stay here and help Shishka. Henry, tell Samuel and the rabbi to get ready to travel. I'll try to get someone else to join.
Samuel already knows. And he's ready to go.
In that case, we'll set off immediately.
I'm going with the rest of our people to Devil's Den. So don't leave me hanging, all right? Stay strong.
Thank God you're all right. On the way here, I saw Sigismund horsemen and feared the worst.
Kubienka, what brings you here?
Well, I heard you were having some kind of a feast here, so I came to grab a bit of meat. And I see, instead of that, you have a massacre here.
Well, the real massacre is yet to come if we don't do something fast. We have to get to Kuttenberg. Can we borrow the wagon you arrived on?
But of course. I borrowed it.
Could you stop blabbering already?
Easy, Ingele. And you, sir, if you can.
All right. But could you please...
I'll explain to you on the way.
Aynen, hiç gerek yok şimdi.
Sir John?
Of course.
Do you think that's a good idea? No offense.
I'm not. But I'm not just going to sit here and wait.
All right then. Let's go.
Evet. Yeter bu görev. Az kaldı galiba. Oho, bayağı yol var. Peki o zaman bir sonraki yayında görüşmek üzere. Yapalım. Bay bay.